everyone. Welcome to the United Way podcast.
Woo!
Yeah, we are back. I'm CJ. I'm with One Shot Creations.
Hey, Kelly Jason, United Way Emerald Coast.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dannon. I own Tap the Coast.
Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Today's episode is about small businesses. That's what we're going to be getting into. Kelly, why don't you go ahead and just talk about, what we've been up to a little bit. And I know, Danny, you're going to get a second. You're going to just kind of talk about Tap the Coast.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we are just rocking and rolling here at United Way Emerald Coast and staying super busy. You've heard about some of the new initiatives and things that we have launched through our other podcast episode and some more that are coming your way, but super excited to be spending this podcast with one of my good friends, Miss Dannon Bird. Dannon is a rock star. When I was thinking, I only had to think for like 5 seconds about who we wanted our next guest to be, and Dannon rose to the top. She is amazing. She's an incredible mom, an incredible community leader, a small business owner, boss babe here, just hustling and killing it across the Florida Panhandle. And we are super proud to know her and to partner with Tap the Coast. So, Dannon, for anybody that's living under a rock and isn't really sure what Tap the Coast does, tell us a little bit about your business.
Gosh, I am shocked. I am honored to be here with you. And what an introduction, you guys. You should make me sound really, really good.
Which she is.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. And I love partnering with you guys. So Tap the Coast is a mobile bartending and beverage service company. We are based out of Pensacola and cover the entire Florida Panhandle. We serve, if it goes in a glass, we'll serve it to you. So whether it's alcohol or not, we love doing fun beverage services at private events, so fundraisers, parties, weddings, you name it. That's what we do.
And she has all sorts of cool carts and things too. So it's not just about, the glasses and the glassware, which is an example of one of the glasses that we used at an event that Tap the Coast was at. But how would you describe your bar carts, or how do you make that visual example for somebody who maybe hasn't seen it?
So for anybody who has not seen our mobile bars, they are essentially trailers or bars that we have built that are mobile. And so we bring a unique bar experience to your event. And so, we've had, I think, almost all of them now at various United Way events. And so we have our horse trailer, which is really popular. We have a vintage 1963 camper that we've converted to a bar as well with a photo booth option. And so we kind of have, at this point, the largest fleet in the region of mobile bars. And that means that we have something for every event, whether it's large or small, indoors or outdoors, at the beach or at a barn. We kind of have it all covered here.
Sure do. My favorite is the little Piaggio, just because that's a fun word to say, but also the tile backsplash that you used and all of the, I don't know if it's brass, what is this? This is a tap?
That's what
this is Tapping at the Coast?
Yes.
Are just beautiful. It's so cute.
Thank you.
And it's really adorable when I watch it roll off of your trailer. It just makes my little heart go pitter-patter.
Did you say you have a vintage camper too?
Yeah, we have a vintage camper, and that was the first one that we restored. Actually, that was what we launched Tap the Coast with. And then COVID hit, and that gave us an opportunity to go into our horse trailer. I always knew that I wanted to have multiple bars available. And so, the timing of things actually was a little crazy in the beginning to launch a business at the very end of 2019, going right into COVID. We were a brand new business, and, but it gave us that time to kind of grow our fleet and add, different options for people. And now we are here with 5 almost. Now we're about to have a sixth bar available. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the Piaggio comes with a backstory, actually. I don't know if I've ever shared that with you. So the Piaggio was actually imported from Italy, and they are used over in that area to either transport mail throughout the city, or ours specifically was used to transport water from a local river to the vineyard. How appropriate, right? So Paolo was his name, and came over, and we actually found him in Fairhope. So he was living over there. and we wanted him to be part of our family. So,
course.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was really from
Yeah.
Italy.
It was imported from
Wow.
Italy. Yeah.
That's legit.
By someone else. I'm a little too
Right.
much of a control person to like trust that it's going to get from somewhere onto a ship in a
Yeah.
container and then back to me somehow. So,
Goodness.
yeah.
How cool.
yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, looks like we got an exclusive.
I know. We're so VIP here.
So let's transition a little bit. I want to talk about like your involvement with United Way. But before that, like what inspired you to kind of get into nonprofit work? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, yeah, that actually kind of goes back to how Kelly and I first met years ago. And I joined Junior League because I had started working for March of Dimes. Now, March of Dimes was a nonprofit organization that was very near and dear to my heart because, as you know, my daughter was born premature. She was 4 months premature, actually. She spent 120 days in the NICU in Pensacola. And so, I learned how to run nonprofits. I learned how they work, and I learned how important volunteers are. I learned how important community partners are in that setting. And so that's where I really learned how nonprofit events work. And I realized at that point, I always said if I was ever fortunate enough to be on the other side of an ask, that I would always say yes. And so I knew when I started Tap the Coast that I wanted us to find the right nonprofits that are making a big impact and that are doing really important work. And that's how this all came to be of our partnership starting with United Way.
Yeah, it's been incredible, and just watching your daughter grow up is also super fun because I can
Thanks.
always picture the picture of her fitting in the palm of your hand, and it's just
She
wild.
literally
and
did, yeah.
To now see you just setting such an incredible example of giving back and being genuinely invested and just rocking it. Oh my God, like
Thanks.
teary-eyed. I just think that's an incredible example that
Yeah.
you're setting for her, and a full circle moment
It
probably.
has, yeah, absolutely. It has come full circle, and I'm grateful that Tap the Coast is in a position to be able to support events that are happening here with various nonprofits. But United Way definitely has a very special place for us.
I was looking back because I wanted to fact check myself before I came onto this podcast today. And I was looking back through being like, how did this start out? Like, where was the first event? Who asked who?
Yeah.
And so per the text messages that I have, it was Dannon reaching out and saying, she knew I was new to this United Way. This was back in 2021, very early 2021. You were like, listen, if you're doing events, that's exactly what you said. I've always wished that I could be on the other side of an ask and want to support nonprofits. So she genuinely, lives by those words. And so she made that ask, and I was like, again, we were just coming out of COVID. We hadn't been doing any events really since I had been at this United Way, but we knew we had an annual meeting that should be on our calendar and coming up. And so that was the
very
first one.
That's right.
That was it,
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
And then since then, every event now, we have Tap the Coast.
I feel like I know
There.
your volunteers now. I feel like I know your board members. I get
do.
to see them, every event that we come to. It's great because they are with you for a long period. You get to see the same people, and I love that they stick with you.
Yeah. And she makes it fun. Again, she has so many different carts and styles, and she will make drinks kind of based off of that audience and our budget and, what's going to be appropriate. And, we put just water in this glass today. I was like, man, I should have tried to be a mixologist back as a small sign of gratitude, but they're beautiful. And we'll make sure that when we post this on our social media that we give, some extra pictures of what you've done for us in the past. So every event, although we're using the same vendor, it feels new. It
Totally
feels
different.
different.
Absolutely.
And I think that our guests enjoy it
I do
so
too.
much.
We've gone from our frozen drink machine.
Yep.
We've used that. We've used our Piaggio multiple times. We've created different drinkware. Like you said, it's all about the experience.
Yeah.
And if attending, a volunteer appreciation event and having a fun cocktail or mocktail available for them helps, make that experience more memorable and more fun for them, my job is done.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. It's been awesome.
Where do you get your creativity from?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always loved. What I think about. What I think I love so much about Tap the Coast is that this gives me an outlet to be creative. Whether it's the cocktails or designing a bar, but also just, every event is different. Doesn't matter. We do 100 weddings a year, and every one of them is different. So it's constantly, I think, finding ways to stay on top of trends and bring something new and exciting to the scene. Like, for example, this past weekend, we were at the Island. It was raining on Saturday. I don't know if you were aware. We were very aware under the tent. But we hosted a boba bar at a wedding reception. And I think that it was so, like, the guests absolutely loved that. So it doesn't always have to be that we're hosting a bar.
Right.
But, just to bring a really fun beverage experience is, something new and exciting for me. It keeps me going in that creative mode.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good question. And I say one of the things that we've learned is like trust the experts. I think back, when we try to help Dan in here, when our like pop rocks are sliding off a glass, and she's being forced on the spot to like fix what we got ourselves into, and
we
she's
just
so
roll
kind,
with it. We
It
roll
is.
with it. But it was a really fun. That was actually a fun event. It was a great way too. That another way that we tie in with what you do is how we are able to give that your sponsor for that event, some exposure, whether it's signage or, drinkware or something, a cocktail specifically named after them and things like that. So, yeah.
What has been your favorite event that you've partnered with us on, would you say?
That's really hard to choose because there are so many fun ones. You always do such a great job planning them and making them fun. I think for me, it's the Women United. Yeah. Maybe it's because I am a woman and I just get, all the goosebumps and feels over seeing some really amazing women in a room, excited to be part of, United Way. But that the last one that we did was really fun. It was a nonstop bar line. I think we'll have to double the amount of champagne for next time.
Absolutely, got a little wild there.
Yeah, it was fun though. I think that was just really fun. I know that was your second Women United big event that we were part of, and I just think it continues to grow, and that is fantastic.
I love that one too. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And all the pink things
All the
for a
pink.
good cause.
Yes.
What else could you ask for? And that was really special, bringing in a lot of female vendors, to be a part of that event.
Yep.
So I know you have it on your calendar for next year.
We sure do.
Or this year, really. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Amazing. When we're partnering with businesses, we really hope that those partnerships will be mutually beneficial, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's always nice when we find somebody that helps us, by sharing their talents and their expertise, maybe doing things, at a slightly reduced cost. And then we help with, social media exposure or recognition at the events. So what do you think have been some of the highlights or reasons, benefits rather, that you get being a small business owner, because it's different.
Yeah.
Or in one shot, hope that you'll chime in too as a small business owner as well, supporting United Way. What are some of those benefits that maybe people don't think about, because you think as a small business, I have a small budget, small staff, but you can still get involved.
Oh, absolutely. There's plenty of ways to get involved. There are hard costs sometimes that are involved, and I am grateful that you pencil us in into your budget for things like that. But where we can, we certainly will give discounts for nonprofits. And, in return, it's a great opportunity for us to be in front of, your events are always well attended. Yeah. And, it's a way for us to showcase what we have. There may be an opportunity, we certainly aren't there to get a return on that investment, but there may be an opportunity for us to then partner with one of your sponsors or someone, in attendance whose daughter is getting, or son is getting married a year from now. And you just never know where those opportunities may lead. But also it's, you guys have a great social media presence and you're always tagging us and sharing and, spotlighting us. And so those are just great benefits to, that I appreciate as a, small business and as a partner that we get back in return too.
Perfect.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that too. the exposure that we get from all the events and just kind of the relationships that we build within the community because we've partnered with United Way.
Yeah.
It's like a no-brainer for us, and then to just kind of take the messaging so we can, just amplify that on a bigger stage now. It's just, it means the world to us too.
And I hope in return that some of our followers see that we are partnered with such great organizations and that there are opportunities for them to jump in and get involved as well. So yeah, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I know you brought your rum friends along, this past year. So that's a perfect example. Another company saying, hey, we're looking for some nonprofits.
Yeah.
We're like,
absolutely.
I know one.
Let me introduce you.
Yeah. It's a quick way to just get connected, and it doesn't take a whole lot to donate, whether it's, monetary or just your time.
Right.
It doesn't take a whole lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I have a friend who is a rep for a rum brand, Blue Chair Bay Rum, and
we love you, Blue Chair Bay.
that's a nice little plug. But they are very generous. Also, that's the Kenny Chesney brand rum, and he really loves giving back. That's part of So whether it's an auction item or product that's needed for an event, they are always there to jump in and donate. So.
That's been amazing. I think that's one of the things that I really love about being a part of United Way is having sometimes those initial conversations or the ongoing partnerships that we're able to build. And it's not a one-size-fits-all relationship. Every single relationship that we have is different. Just like you say, every wedding's different.
Yeah.
What we do with One Shot is different than what we do with Tap the Coast, which is different than what we do with Publix, which is different than all these other businesses. And I think our staff is really skilled at having these conversations and finding out from that partner, that individual, that company, what's going to be meaningful to them, and then how can that align, and how can we get them plugged in the right way to our work, because there are so many opportunities.
I will say too, it's even impacted my staff in showing them that being part of these kind of events is what their role, how their role impacts things, and then they are able to then learn what your organization does, and then they realize, man, like this is really cool. I could be part of this too. So I hope in some way my staff even are inspired to find their passion and then get involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can chime in on that too. So we've been working on a branding project for United Way. It's kind of how we got connected at first. And Kino, shout out to Kino. He was kind of editing some of the footage and listening to Kelly's testimony of one of our somebody that deeply impacted by United Way and their efforts, and he was just moved. He was like, wow, I can't believe people are actually going through some of these things here. And I said, and this is why we do what we do.
That's right.
So that way we can bring more exposure to this and get more help for people that need it.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Feels good to know that your small business is able to, make an impact. It just makes me really proud. Absolutely. It makes me very proud.
Oh,
yeah.
We love you. Love you. So what advice might you give to other small businesses that are looking to maybe support an organization?
Wow. Find something that you're most passionate about, because that's where you're going to feel good about giving, first of all. But do your research, do your homework, make sure that these organizations are sound and doing what they need to do. United Way obviously comes with great, marks and reputation and all of that. So, but as far as your small business, I think it goes to just having conversations and having that relationship. Like you're saying, what you do with this business versus that business is very different. And so, kind of look at what you hope to get from that relationship and how you can offer something, back. But have conversations about year-round partnerships. That's, we started with just one event, but now we are on the calendar with you for each event. And that, as a small business, that means repeat events for me. But for you guys, that's a solid partnership. It's for, it goes, again, both ways. So that would be my recommendation for small business is, step back, look at the bigger picture, and really find a couple of organizations that you can dive deep into.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for us, our creativity can do no harm here.
True.
We can be as creative as we want. And if you want to help, and you're a small business, you're just not sure, just reach out to us on social. And this is something that even if you haven't volunteered before, anything helps.
Right.
So I want to go into one last thing with you, Danny. What projects are you most excited about? Any upcoming events?
So 2024, we will be bringing a new bar to our fleet. We definitely are about to launch that very soon.
I can't wait.
So, and more to come. For us, growing our presence across the Gulf Coast. So like I said, we're based in Pensacola, but just working to grow our presence farther east. Is that east? Yes. I know. Farther over into Okaloosa and Walton counties, and then we also we have launched our cocktail classes, which are super fun.
Yes.
And so finding a way to just kind of add that into the mix, and
I'm going to sign up.
yeah.
I love those. I was just telling Marley, I was like, okay, we have the board chef. Hashtag the board chef. We love them too.
Oh my
Another
gosh.
small
So
business
good.
owner.
Yes.
Like charcuterie and cocktails.
Yeah.
Dannon, how do we marry these two things
make it
and have
happen.
an amazing event that I know I want to attend?
Yes, absolutely.
Even if it's just a private class.
They are fun. So we actually are doing one this week for Perdido. So again, like if we can, perfect it over there and then bring it over
Right.
here, I'm all for
You're
it.
always welcome to work your
Yeah.
kinks out with us. We'll be your guinea pigs. We have no fear.
So 2024 is just going to be. I'm looking forward to a year where like we have really found who we are, and digging more into community and being more solid, every day.
Love it.
So yeah.
How can people find you on social media, your website, so that they can learn more and book you for their next event?
Well, thank you for the plug. Yeah. So our website is tapthecoast.com, and you can find us there. All of the bars that we have available, all of our services. You can go right there. We're also, of course, on social, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. So yeah.
Which has A+++ rating from us. We love them. I cannot sing her praises loud enough, high enough. That it's been such a meaningful partnership for us, and I'm so glad that you feel that you guys are getting something out of it as well, because it is
Absolutely.
making a huge difference to us, and it does. It just makes every event. It adds something special to each and every one. So we appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah, Kelly. How do people get in touch with us?
Follow us at UW Emerald Coast across any platform. United-way.org is our website, and my email is Kelly, Kelly, at united-way.org.
Awesome. Well,
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
This was so
thank you.
fun. I
Yeah.
appreciate you thinking of me
Of
and
course.
yeah,
bringing me on.
You got it, girl.
appreciate you. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.